Good evening, YouTube. This is Kaylin Stream coming at you with my regular Sunday night dinner. And tonight is the first of two rations that was sent to me by Mike. There's Burger Butt and Booger Butt in the house. Thanks for dropping in. This is an 8-pack ready meal. And from videos that I've seen in the past, these used to be in a blue outer wrapper. But this is how it came. This is the same type of wrapper that is used by Ameriqual and sometimes Sapaco in their military rations. And now the newer versions of the halal rations come in this style of bag. Let's see, there is also Aaron in the house. Thanks for dropping in. Welcome. So what this is, it's menu 1. It's just printed on the back of the bag. It's Mexican chicken stew. And I can only tell that because of the printing on the retort. So I have never opened one of these civilian Ameriqual rations before. But I have seen them on YouTube before. I just have not seen anything recently. And according to the date code that I see on here, I'm guessing it's 2019 pack. The 9 is the first date of the date code, so if it was 2009, it wouldn't be in this style of packaging, I don't think, from what I've seen in videos before, but here it is, and everything looks relatively recent. So we'll get into this. I have another bag set aside for my trash. So I'm using my green tray tonight, since there will be quite a few different components. So here is the Mexican style chicken stew, but this sticker label is actually peeling off. It was already peeled off like this and sticking to this outer bag. So when I go to put this in the hot water, this label will come off. So I just may go ahead and peel this off completely before I stick it in the water. But this has the nutritional stuff on here. There is Yossi in the house, all the way from Israel, checking in. And here we have oh, this is different. This is the tan pouch that you would see the dry snacks in, or the wheat snack bread, or even the drink mixes. This is banana apple smoothie. Well, that's different. So this is a pre-made smoothie instead of a powder mix. The Southern Ohio prepping in the house. So this is definitely different. And here is a sheet of paper with the nutrition facts for the banana apple smoothie. Now this is something totally different. Sunflower butter. So it's a nut butter made from the sunflower kernels. in the same type of packaging that the peanut butter would be in, cheese spread would be in, you know, all that sort of thing. And then here are tortillas. Different type of labeling than the standard mil-spec tortilla wrappings. These appear to be smaller. It appears to be as long, but maybe a little wider than the standard tortilla wrapping. And then we have a spork, napkin, salt and pepper type of thing. And here is a heating sleeve, but I won't be using that because I'm not going to be using the flameless ration heater that came in this. And speaking of, it looks like this. It's a white bag with the same type of element as in the mil-spec ration heaters, but with the APAC logo on it. And I believe Ameriqual still makes these. You could probably still buy a case of these rations, just like the Sapaco ones that I've had before. So there is no coffee or drink mix of any kind. Just like the humanitarian daily rations never had any kind of a drink. So I've got salt and pepper, and a salt-free seasoning. There is Mike. Thanks for dropping in. So this little napkin, so I'm going to set these to the side. And this little spork is a whole lot shorter than the foreign MRE spork, which I will be using. And because I wasn't sure if there would be a coffee, I'm going to have this Minotaur Trading Company French Vanilla Cappuccino. So this smoothie will go into the drinking jar. I brought a bottle of water out here in case there was a powdered drink mix in here, but I guess I will not be needing that. This is what the French Vanilla Cappuccino looks like in the 4 MRE mug. So what I'm going to do is, I said, this label will come off, so I'm just going to go ahead and peel this off. There's Gardener Josh in the house. Thanks for dropping in. The rest of these bits will probably just come off in the water anyway. But I just want to get most of it off. That way it's not as much of a mess. This is one of those pouches that, you see this color on one side and a slightly darker shade on this side. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put this in the water, and I'll just put my water bottle back in the fridge while I'm at it, and I'll be right back. Oops, sorry about that. I'm stirring up my cappuccino. I was a little bit pixelated there, so I do apologize for that. I don't know if it's my connection or what. And we'll put that back here. This is the first time I've seen a prepared smoothie in a pouch. So what I'm going to do is cut off a corner instead of trying to use a tear notch. Now this is coming out quite thick. It's almost like a pudding thickness. This is really odd. I would call this more of a pudding than a smoothie, or at least a puree, because there's no way you can drink this. You have to spoon it. I can definitely smell the apple. It smells like applesauce with banana. There's dark matter in the house. Thanks for dropping in. And this is, it's so thick that when I tip my drinking jar, it just kind of slowly moves. I actually could have put this on the tray instead of it in the drinking jar. But here is this sunflower butter. I guess these ready meals are very light as far as the food goes, and definitely light on the drinks because there is no drink whatsoever. And if this is supposed to be a drink, well, I'd call this dessert instead. No oxygen absorber. Oh, there it was. It was stuck down the corner. So there's 2 tortillas here. Look about the standard size, just a slightly different packaging. But yeah, this nut butter, I was kind of hoping that this would be cheese. There's a Christine in the house. Thanks for dropping in. She and Yossi were in the Ration Museum chat earlier, along with a few others. Another reason why I'm not using the flameless ration heater, I store these. I like to save these for an actual emergency use, and to show that this is a civilian one. Angry Blacksmith in the house. Thanks for dropping in. And the puppy breath is here as well. So again, for those coming in, this is an 8-pack ready meal. And it appears to be 2019 pack based on the fact that it was in the same type of clear outer wrapper that would normally be the inner wrapper of an Ameriqual packed MRE, or sometimes a Sapaco packed MRE. But this, as you can see, it's a white bag, same type of element though. But it's an 8-pack ready meal. Same instructions that you would find on the green ones. See, there is a date code. There's 4 Anna-Marie in the house, Art and Ornina. So 9190 is the date code on this FRH. So that tells me it is 2019. The older versions of this, from what I've seen, were in a blue bag instead of a clear one. And it came with this little spork, which I will save. It just goes into my collection of plastic utensils that I save for a time when I have to conserve my water and not wash my steel ones that I normally use. But there are only 2 tortillas. There's the Carlos Perry in the house. Food Forest Permaculture is here. So I want to, by the way, what For Anna-Marie did drop a super chat. That's greatly appreciated. So anyone who has never seen a super chat before, for monetized channels, someone can do a live donation to that channel via the super chat option, like For Anna-Marie did, and that goes to help support the channel. And again, I greatly appreciate that. But I'm guessing, seeing this so Paco may have, or Merqual may have done this sunflower butter in case they have to give these to people who have peanut allergies, but you would think that they might be allergic to sunflower seeds. Or maybe not, I don't know. I don't know if people who have nut allergies can eat sunflower seeds or not. Or pumpkin seeds for that matter. It feels like it's a pretty thin type of spread, or it's very oily. So I will go, I'll take off a small corner of this. And I'll put a little bit of this you can see how loose that is. It's very thin. It's very oily. It tastes like the sunflower kernels, but with a very slight hint of sweetness. Yeah, I don't know much about those types of nut allergies. I'm just doing it again just to show how loose it is even after kneading it. But it does taste good though. I'm going to take a drink of my cappuccino. Now this here was labeled as a banana apple smoothie, but look how thick that is. They should have called this a pudding. It has a texture of a pudding. It has a consistency of a pudding. It has the taste of applesauce mixed with banana puree. That's pretty much what it is. It's good though, but it just... Of course, I can't put it on my tray because the drinking jar is just too big for these slots. So I'll just keep it back here. It's a little different. It's not what I expected. You know, you think of a smoothie as being like a milkshake. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and get my main out of the water because it should be heated up by now, and I'll be right back. I am back. This is the cover for one of my pots, my cookware set. I just use it to bring my hot retort pouches in from the kitchen. And I have a paper towel to wipe the water off so it's easier to handle. And I just shove it back here out of the way. Now this is one of those that has a tear notch going this way. Your other MRE retort pouches have it going this way. So I just shake the food down. Well, this one doesn't want to cooperate, so I rip it the other way. Well, since that doesn't want to rip, I'll just get the cheaters. I'll wash those scissors later when I wash my tray. So here is a Mexican chicken stew. It's a lot soupier than what I thought it might be, but I suppose I shouldn't be surprised. But at least the chicken pieces are pretty nice. So there's corn in here. It's pretty soft. There's beans. I'm guessing that's a bell pepper. Nope, that was a tomato. So the chicken is kind of like a chunk, partially pulled chicken. There's a lot of the sauce. White and dark meat chicken. This tortilla started to split, but that's okay because I can always dip it in the sauce. Yep. This is good. It's got good flavor. Yep. I can do that. Or I could just take individual pieces. Kind of like that. But trying to do that with only 2 tortillas would be more trouble than it's worth. But this chicken stew is actually not too bad. I don't think I've had it in a US MRE. I may have had it in like actually I'm not sure if I've had this one. I'd have to go look through my my playlist of all of my reviews and see if I've had a Mexican chicken stew before. But this is actually not too bad. Would have been nice if it would have had some hot sauce. But it had the salt and pepper and the salt-free seasoning mix, which I'm not going to use. I will save that. It would have been nice to have some jalapeno cheese spread. I'm going to squirt a little bit of this sunflower butter on here. It starts to run down. Yeah, it is good. It's just something that I've never seen before in a ration. And it would be a good alternative for those who do have nut allergies, but who are not allergic to sunflower seeds. But I still find it a little odd to pair with a Mexican chicken stew. But I do like dipping the tortillas in the sauce, though. Now, Mike, when you bought the case, did it have 12 or 14 bags in it? I am curious about that because when you get the low sodium Sopaco case, you get 14 instead of 12, but you don't get a wide variety. You get multiples of some of the menus, and the one case that I did have that I still use for my ration storage when I do get them in, that one had only one of the menus. There were only like 5 different menus out of all 14, and 3 of them, there were like 3 or 4 of that particular one. So instead of reviewing the entire case, I just ate one of each menu in there, and then the rest I just ate off camera. Yeah, that's yeah, because this is a 2019 pack, I assume that AmeriQual is still knocking these out. These are different than the blue pack from last decade. But I do find it odd that there would be no drink whatsoever, just like the HDR, the Humanitarian Daily Ration, had no drink in it. But at least these have a ration heater, whereas the HDRs do not. That would be the most likely scenario when giving out these types of rations in disaster situations is you get a bottle of water, or you take a cup from a communal source. But most likely it would be a bottle of water, especially these days. So I bet people in Haiti, if aid organizations are in there doing disaster relief, they may be handing out bags like this. To people who have lost everything. Yeah, Mike, yeah, I tried to look you up because when I got the package, I wanted to drop a link, but I just couldn't find it. So the easiest way to do it is to just put a comment on any one of my videos, or a reply or comment on my community tab post. Then people can go look you up off of that and subscribe if they want. That would be the easiest way to do it. So if you do that, then what I will do is I'll go grab it and then go ahead and put that on as a comment, or maybe just edit the description of my unboxing video when I got that box that contained this one and the totem and the other goodies. There is Prep for It in the house. Thanks for dropping in. I'm sure you probably picked a strawberry or three out of there when you took a break from mowing. Those strawberries look absolutely delicious that you've been collecting. But I'm sure that one was probably a good one. So thanks for dropping in. This is the first time coming into my dinner streams. This is a civilian pack Mexican chicken stew. And this is supposed to be a banana apple smoothie, but look how thick that is. That's pudding thick. Now the pouch is labeled as a smoothie, so I'm assuming that it would be something drinkable, and I can put it in a drinking jar. But this Mexican chicken stew is actually not too bad. And then I have here sunflower butter, so it's like a peanut butter or nut butter, but made out of sunflower seeds. And it's a bit runny. It's very oily, but it still tastes very good. It tastes like toasted sunflower seeds, but with just a very slight hint of sweetness. There's no drink, so I got Minotaur vanilla cappuccino, which is pretty good. Oh, he does. Oh, if you like wood carving, like for ferro rod and striker handles and things like that, he does it. So I'm gonna go into my drinking jar. Yep. And it tastes just like banana puree mixed with applesauce. Well, that's okay. You know, you have to, if, if life happens, you got to deal with it. But you can always check out his previous videos to see the carvings that he's done. There you go. Yep, sometimes people just have life taking over. And now Dark Matter can check out some garden harvests and all kinds of good stuff. Yep, sharing the love, supporting each other. Well, yeah, too bad you don't have your little wood shop. I enjoyed those wood carving videos. I wish I had access to something like that. But can't do that in an apartment building. Well, that's still doing something. He has made some very unique pieces. And not always using a lathe. I just took another bite of this pudding. So whoever prepared that apple banana quote unquote smoothie either didn't put enough water in, or they made it correct but labeled it as a smoothie instead of pudding, because a smoothie is supposed to be drinkable. At least I thought they were supposed to be drinkable. It won't take me long to finish all of this off. There was James Ortiz in the house. He was also in the Ration Museum stream earlier. I'm finishing off this APAC ready meal. This is menu 1, Mexican chicken stew. I'm holding up the FRH that I didn't use because that's basically the label for this. It was packed in the same type of bag that is usually the inner bag for the AmeriQual packed US MREs and some of the Sapaco packed ones. Now, Warnick does not use that inner bag. But there's no drink. So this coffee is a Minotaur French vanilla cappuccino. And as I said, this so-called apple banana smoothie is a pudding. So I'm eating pudding out of my drinking jar. And this is sunflower butter. So instead of peanut butter, it's very oily. It's a lot looser. And it tastes like toasted sunflower kernels with a very slight hint of sweetness. Now, thanks for dropping in. Food Forest Permaculture is way up in Canada. So he's another cool YouTuber. He puts out videos of what he calls his food forest on Vancouver Island up there in Canada, and all kinds of plants on the ground, and just all kinds of things up there that he maintains. Sometimes you might see some birds or other wildlife roaming through there and getting on camera. That's pretty cool to see that. He has some very cool stuff going on up there. And it's amazing what he is able to grow up there in his piece of Canada. Now that's it for the chicken stew. So next week, I will open up what's commonly called a totem, or TOTM, which is tailored operational training meal. It's a lighter version of a standard MRE, but it is military issue, and it comes in a clear bag. In fact, I will get it. So this is a clear bag it comes in. It's the same type of clear bag that the halal MREs used to come in until they got switched over to that type of packaging that is inside of an AmeriQual MRE. So Warnick packs these, or at least this particular one. Got the picture of some soldiers standing there. And this one is vegetarian taco pasta. So I believe this one does have a drink mix in it. I've seen a couple of these on video, and it has an FRH. And I can see that there are my favorite of the tortillas, the chipotle tortillas. I'm very happy to see those. So anyway, I will open up this one next Sunday. So that'll be the last one for August. And I am on the hunt for some more rations. UPS bungled my last Minotaur order. And they're actually not helping Bob out any with a lost package claim. So he is just gonna, if he still has all of the items in stock that I had ordered, he's just gonna send me a new one. Here is Sunshine Side of Life in the house. Thanks for dropping in. Yeah, all I have left is this pudding, which is labeled as a banana apple smoothie. It says smoothie. It's okay, I can put this in my drinking jar, but this is what came out. Sorry, I keep bumping my phone mount. It's not the most stable thing in the world. I'll just move this tray, since the only thing I have left on it is this sunflower butter. I'll just end up sucking it right out of the pouch. But this is, or was, this APAC ready meal. It's a civilian ration. No drink, so I got a Minotaur French vanilla cappuccino. I had a water bottle out here anticipating a cold drink mix, but nope. This pudding was labeled as a smoothie. Really can't drink this. There's Quint in the house. Thanks for dropping in. But it's still good. It's just different. It's just not what I expected. So thanks for dropping in, Christine. All the way across the pond. Not as far away as Yossi, but I think someone is going to try to get some shut-eye. Well, there really wasn't much to do a megabyte with. I had 2 tortillas, the Mexican chicken stew, and this sunflower butter. So all I have left, I will call this a pudding. So if Yossi's taken off, it's time for him to get some shut-eye. Now, megabyte is something that Dub C started. And basically what he does, it's just a big pile of a lot of things together in one bite. And I just put a little bit of that sunflower butter on this. This pudding totally covers the taste of it. So you really don't, I would have had to squirt a whole bunch of this onto that little bite of the apple banana pudding. But I did put some of the chicken stew on the tortilla. But had to try to pick up the individual pieces of the food to try to get only a little of the sauce. And so it's instead of good night, Yossi, it's good morning, Yossi, because it's way past, it's morning time there in Israel. So it is Monday for him. Now this ration is a lighter meal, on the order of the HDRs, the humanitarian daily rations, or the Sapaco low sodium ones. but at least with the low sodium ones, you get an actual drink of some kind. Well, thanks for dropping in. I'm probably going to close this one out myself since there's really not much left. But when I get into this, maybe I might be able to do a megabyte with what's in here. I've been wanting to try one of these for quite some time, and thanks to Mike, I got one. And I'm looking forward to digging into it. So this one is a vegetarian one, as I said. I've had this main before. It's actually not too bad, though I think it needs a bit of a kick. But actually, Dubsy has hooked up with allmres.com to produce a megabyte ration. So if you want one that's actually called a megabyte, you can go to that site and pick up one of those. I do hope to get one of those. I just haven't done it yet. It's been a while since I've ordered anything off of that site. This cappuccino is actually pretty good. So it's a good thing I decided to pull it out. Otherwise, I would have either just drank the water or gotten some of my cold brew tea that I have in my fridge. But anyway, this one I think will be a more pleasing meal as far as having things that this particular one did not. And to see the chipotle tortillas, yeah, that makes me happy to see that because I love those tortillas. No, he was not in the Ration Museum stream. He may have been posting on Facebook. But he posted, I think the last time I see him post was him asking what this menu one was when I posted on there about this. So that was the last time I've seen him post. So I don't know where he's at. I don't know if he's in the path of what was a hurricane in the Northeast. Now it got downgraded to a tropical storm, but it can still do a bunch of damage, especially with the storm surge. Yeah, like I said, he was not in there, so yeah. Then again, he could have just been working like crazy and just needs a sleep. You know, sometimes you just gotta blow off everything else and just sleep. You know, some people who have gotten the poke, and I think you can figure out what I mean, they would get very tired after that. Maybe for a day, maybe for 2 or 3. People react to those things differently. Well, speaking of, when I was camping with my family the first week of this month, my younger nephew and his girlfriend went to the marina and rented a couple of kayaks for an hour. She has kayaked before, but he has not. But from what we could tell watching them, he got the hang of it pretty quick, and now they're going to buy a pair of kayaks so that they can go anytime they want and not have to go to a marina and rent them. Of course, thing is, our water levels are so low here in Iowa that a lot of boat ramps where people put in off of a boat trailer are having a hard time because the bottom of the ramp is above the water line. And so boat motors would be literally gouging the ground at the base of the boat ramp. And that could damage the props on the motor or at least damage the ground, you know, that's at the bottom of the boat ramp. And it's not as bad here as it is out west, where boat ramps are completely out of the water and you can't even put in unless you're just sliding down a beach. But water levels are getting low here. That little bit of rain that we had a couple nights ago really didn't amount to a whole lot. There was lightning, there was thunder, and there was wind. But the rain was just not a whole lot. In fact, my deck looked already dry. I could tell that there was very little rain that came because the lids that I'm using to catch water from the base of my pots, they were dry. There was no water in it from the storm. Well, speaking of IMPs, in the previous video that Bob put up on the Ration channel, he said he was going to get some IMPs. He was going to get some CR1Ms. He has a bunch of USMRE cases. So today he put up another video about new Titan and Kraken menus. But he didn't say anything about when the IMPs and CR1Ms would be at his new location. I just hope he doesn't get them raided by customs when they do come in, because that would royally suck. Well, he's not doing them as often because it's just a whole lot of work to do the development and the testing of the different food items that he wants to create. So he's just doing fewer of them, not as frequently. But he's going to have, I think, 100 of the Titans and I think 50 of the Krakens. But they are 24-hour rations. And the Kraken one that he talked about, the breakfast item is a pork item. So if I buy that one, I will just pass that item on to someone else. I think it's a pork sausage patty. And he puts a packet of the syrup in there, like you might use on the maple muffin top or the filled French toast. So you can put that syrup on your pork patty if you get that one. But I would have to go back to that video to see what the main is for the Titan, but they both sound really good. The Titan is the freeze-dried one, and then I think the Kraken is the standard retort, like what my chicken stew is in. So it would be a wet pack. Yeah, I hope to get some more foreign rations. There is one that I had seen online. I'm not going to say where I got it because I don't want to get the seller in any kind of trouble. But I decided to go for it. Oh, wow. That is one I would love to try. I would love to try a Swedish, a Dutch, one of the newer German ones. I want a Polish 24-hour. But finding one of those that doesn't have pork in it is very hard. Maybe I would have to see if I can get Delicious over in Poland to find me one. Oh, wow. Holy crap, that would set you up for quite some time. And to get a group ration like that would be a true score. There is like the CR5M. That's for 5 people. And I think there used to be an American ration that was for, I think, 10. or was it 5? I don't remember. But Steve 1989, I think, opened up an Israeli 5-person ration, and then someone had a Russian 25-person ration. I don't remember who opened that one up, but that thing was massive. But those are all on video, those larger group rations that's been opened up. No doubt the shipping would be... If someone were to try to get that Russian 25-person ration, one of them, the shipping would probably be $200 if it has to be shipped from Russia. And the box that thing came in was massive. Yeah, that one was pretty fishy, pun intended. But for those that like tuna, that'd be pretty good. There are also a few more MCWs or meal cold weathers that I would like to get my paws on. I would like to get a hold of Long Range Patrol, a Food Packet Survival, some things like that. Let's see. I've had the turkey tetrazzini. I've had the seafood chowder. I've had the spaghetti main. I've had the chili mac main. Let's see. I've had the Oriental chicken and rice. I've had the Mexican chicken and rice one. I think outside of the breakfast ones, there's only 12 menus in the MCW line. So I think I've had almost all of those. I was really hoping to have that one MCW that had the Western style eggs, but it turned out it has ham in it, but the white bag did not mention anything about ham. And so I think Art and Nina has since changed the description of that on the Foreign MRE site because they didn't know it had ham in it. I guess they hadn't opened one of those. So I guess they learned something about that particular MCW. So I just ate everything else out of that one. The blueberry granola. Yeah, if it says like Western style omelet, I think it was. That one had ham in it. When I took out the Mountain House main out of that one, I saw ham on there, and I thought, holy crap, this wasn't mentioned on the outer bag. This, that wasn't on a description, so I thought maybe this would be one I could eat, but well, not that one. So I gave that one to Aletha when she came here earlier this month. She had to do something here in town, so she stopped by and I gave her a few things. Yeah, it can be disguised if it's cut up really small. And if it's thoroughly blended into everything else. But some people with very sharp palates could pick it up easy. But the Emory Info site should have all the descriptions of the different types of rations, what each one contains for that year. So if you go to emoryinfo.com, you would have to dig around the site, but all that is there, and there are some people updating that all the time as new stuff gets done. They're doing 2020 stuff probably now. Yeah, what they're probably doing is they're giving them vegetarian and the halal MREs. Or if they have this one, if they had some of these, they could be giving these out because, you know, since this one is vegetarian, so that's probably what they're doing. Since Afghanistan is a majority Muslim country. Well, that's, yep, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and call this one good too, since all I have left is this, and then I'll just suck it right out of the pouch. But I do want to thank you all for watching. So, this one next week. And I'm looking forward to these Chipotle tortillas. So, I do want to thank you all for watching. I again thank Foreign Emery for dropping that super chat. That's greatly appreciated. So, catch you on the flip side.